I can't believe it's been a decade since I decided to leave America and start a new chapter of my life abroad. A new chapter that started on the other side of the world. A lot really has changed, which is what I want to talk about today. When I first moved abroad, I was a bit overweight. Well, I was a little bit obese. And really, a lot's changed since 2015. I started caring about what I ate. I started becoming more aware of how unhealthy different types of foods were, which was a huge surprise to me at first because we just eat stuff thinking this is good, right? And when I first moved abroad, it was to Vietnam, and this is where the shock really came in, was Vietnamese food is so healthy on paper. But when you see how the food is handled, how it's cooked, how it's stored, where their hands are before they do it, people cleaning vegetables in toilets and stuff like this stuff happens. Food's on the ground at the markets. It was a real shock to me. And it made me really think twice about eating as much as I did back then. But that wasn't even the end of it. Next, the big change came. I stopped drinking. I cold turkeyed smoking, just completely stopped it. And then all following this, my mother passed away, which led me to learning what my bloodline was, which honestly changed everything about my life. And this is what led me to lose a lot of weight, like a lot. As in 15 to 20 kilograms of actual fat in like 3 or 4 months. And to my American viewers, because I know you're out there, that's about 30 to 40 pounds of just fat in 3 or 4 months. That's like 10 pounds a month. That's crazy. Either way, this isn't me lecturing you on what you should do. We all have our reasons for being healthy or even not being healthy. I mean, to our own, right? But something odd that really got my attention past all the events of my life was I started realizing something weird. And it started grabbing my attention, and oddly enough, it was YouTubers. And I started to notice when they became successful, when they made a lot of money, and they moved up their entire lifestyle from like rags to riches or whatever they call it, right? Like they boomed. They all did the same thing, almost overnight too. And I noticed those that were very successful, made a lot of money, and made content and channels that changed their life drastically. And almost overnight, they all changed their focus on their health. Jake Paul, Mr. Beast, PewDiePie, all of them had personal transformations that revolved around their health. And granted, Mr. Beast and PewDiePie, they didn't make some big video about how they lost 20 kilograms or something like that. You just knew it. You saw it. You saw it in how they looked, how they acted, their personalities. And you would catch other YouTubers doing documentaries on how they did it, right? Now, we'll say Jake Paul, for example, he made a big deal of it, but he also got into the WWF and like MMA and stuff like that. So I find his situation, like him or not, like it was definitely a different situation than like Mr. Beast getting rich. And he started realizing, hey, my health is really important right now. PewDiePie, the same thing. He got married, had a child. My health is really important right now. So this is something I realized. Now, I'm not saying I'm a successful, rich YouTuber, not at all. But I feel like I got on that bandwagon before the fame ever showed up. So this led me to having better health, way better motivation. And honestly, these last 2 or 3 years have been some of my most successful times in my life compared to like the last 2 decades. And it really just comes down to 2 simple things. Let me explain. I don't have food in the morning. I don't even like the idea of breakfast. We wake up in the morning and we instantly have food in our kitchen that we didn't have to fight for, we didn't have to hunt for. It's just there. Like, it's too easy. And there's just no energy burnt to make it. You just throw some food in a bowl and you just start chewing on it and you're done. And this is right after I wake up. And I started thinking to myself, why am I eating? I'm not doing anything. I didn't do anything that was energy burning. I was sleeping. And I know a lot of you are gonna say, well, you burn a lot of calories when you sleep, David. That's when your body uses all this energy. And I know that, and I agree with you. However, our body does this with the fat on our body. Why else does our body store fat? It doesn't do it to make us cuter. It uses it for energy. And I started realizing this. Either way, this helped me realize breakfast really just makes me arrogant and lazy. Once I figured this out, I didn't eat until I got work done. Instead, I would wake up in the morning, I would get a coffee, and I would just get to work on what I needed to get done. And really, my path to this level where I am now was never easy. There were bumps in my road. There was stress, there was rejection of ideas and business ideas. There was even blood when I lived in Thailand and did fighting. And I sit around and I think about the worst times of my life. The pain, the stress, the endless nights of like walking in circles, trying to figure something out. And if I really try hard enough, I can make up some excuse or solution that makes me happy until the problem comes back to my head again. It's just a waste of time. But now, I take this pain, I take this confusion, I throw some caffeine into the blood, I set the fire off, and I enter my day waking up ready to win or die trying. And I realized and I learned hunger sends our mind into survival mode. I don't have time for Cheerios. I don't have time for Fruit Loops. Life is not long. It's way too short, and wasting it on pointless stuff does what for my future? It was always the mindset. I learned that I wake up, I work on plans that I set the night before, and I just get those things done. Then I eat. That's simple. And I don't know if it's just me, but when I don't allow myself to eat, I tend to focus. I stay in shape, and I'm motivated out of my mind. I want to get things done. And on top of that, I feel and I look great. And honestly, I think I'm in better shape right now than I was when I was in the military. I'm better off financially and mentally right now than I was when I was working as a real estate investor. And when I wake up, I feel more excited than I ever did before during my crazy drunken party university days. And I really feel the smarter eating is a big part of my better life. And definitely dropping the alcohol was a huge benefit. But either way, I'm not telling you how to change your diet. I'm not telling you not to drink or to drink. Just telling you what I went through. But it's 2023. I'm working on a lot of projects. I don't sleep until I get things done. It is by choice, and I'm seriously enjoying life. Who wouldn't in this situation? But really, when I think about it, I want more. So I will do more. This comes down to where all my motivation comes, all why I stay healthy and why I'm staying in shape and I'm staying mentally happy. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I don't.